Before long, someone entered there to take a bath with Daryl.
部屋は広いんだから横に来なくてもいいよ。
少しお話ししませんか？こんばんは、ダリエルさん。
餅が？
Of course, Daryl panicked because he was holding Marika's chewy mochi cake. He accidentally held it because he thought that it was Geshida who entered this sauna as usual. Daryl wanted to take his hand off Marika's mochi, but unfortunately, Daryl's hand couldn't do what Daryl was thinking. Marika's mochi was too chewy and comfortable in Daryl's hand. Marika had been blushing since earlier, and they were silent there for a moment while looking into each other's eyes. Then Marika nervously said she would support Daryl going to the Central Guild. After hearing that, Daryl finally managed to get his hand off Marika's mochi. Marika said she deliberately entered the sauna to chat with Daryl. She didn't know if one day she would be able to chat with Daryl like this or not. Daryl is a great man because he has helped Lux Village a lot. All residents returned cheerfully, and the village became crowded. It was a precious memory for Marika, who saw the Lux Village like this for the first time. Not only that, Marika also felt deep feelings for Daryl for the first time. Because of that, Marika was grateful that Daryl had become a part of this Lux Village. Whatever Daryl does, Marika and everyone will always support him. Marika believed that Daryl would be even more powerful in the Central Guild. In Daryl's mind, he knew Marika's attitude like this, always supports others and puts aside her own feelings for the good of that person. Because of that, Daryl had another reason not to go to the Central Guild. Daryl tells Marika that he already plans to turn down Desfrid's offer. Marika had helped Daryl and invited him to visit this Lux Village for the first time. Marika had saved Daryl's life when he had no idea where his life was headed. Not only that, Marika and her parents also allowed Daryl to live here. Lux Village is precious to Daryl because it's like his hometown. After all, if Daryl went to the Central Guild, he wouldn't be able to eat Marika's cooking anymore. After hearing that, Marika held Daryl's hand and cried because she could still be with him.
よかった。まだ一緒にいれるんだ。
The next day, Erica was worried because Marika had not woken up since this morning. But when Erica opened Marika's room, she saw a beautiful view of the activities that Daryl and Marika had been doing all night. Erica was very happy to see her daughter have her own happiness now. After a few minutes, Marika and Daryl were awake, and Marika was still wearing light clothes. She apologized for being late helping her mother cook breakfast. Then Daryl looked tired because playing with Marika all night in bed with unlimited rounds. Amble was confused because this was the first time Daryl looked so exhausted like that. Of course, Daryl and Marika were very nervous. They thought Amble had heard their activities last night. But apparently, Amble said Daryl shouldn't have been in the sauna for too long. It is very hot there and he can get dehydrated. After hearing that, Daryl and Marika were relieved that Amble didn't know about their activities last night. Then suddenly, Erica told Marika that she was pleased and always supported Marika with Daryl. After finishing breakfast, Daryl and Amble drank coffee together as usual. Daryl was really nervous today, but he really enjoyed playing with Marika last night, especially Marika's mochi. Then Amble asked Daryl to do other herb quests later. The demand for herbal plants really piled up among the residents. Before long, Erica asked Daryl to help carry the clothesline to the second floor. While walking there, Erica advised Daryl to stay close to Marika and make her happy. Of course, Daryl was even more nervous because Erica must have known what they did last night. Then Daryl had to explain this to Marika's parents directly. This was the right time because Daryl could marry Marika. Then Amble suddenly called Daryl because he wanted to talk seriously with him.
話がある。
Of course, Daryl thought Amble would talk about Daryl's activities with Marika last night. But at least, Daryl has to explain his intentions to Amble first.
あまりにも見事な餅。村長になってほしいんだ。
It turns out Amble wants Daryl to be the successor to the village chief of Lux. Not only that, Amble also wanted Daryl to become the guild master because it was time for Amble and Erica to retire. They were old and would leave all these tasks to Daryl and Marika. Marika also secretly eavesdropped on their conversation. At first, Daryl refused because it was too big a responsibility for Daryl. but Anvil assures Dariel that he can definitely do it. Dariel has done many jobs in Lux Village, and he also knows a lot of people here. The greater the responsibility of a man, he will grow in his life. When he carries a big burden and responsibility, he will definitely end up enjoying the results. After hearing that, Dariel looked at Marika, and I'm sure you can guess Dariel's thoughts. Correct? Dariel thought he had worked hard all this time, and was getting good results, enjoying Marika. Then Dariel asked Anvil for permission to marry Marika, and he promised he would try to make Marika happy. After that, Dariel will receive an offer from Anvil.
俺と結婚してくれる？行き場のなかった俺に居場所を作ってくれた。これから二人で幸せになろうな。
シング！
二人じゃありませんよ。三人です。
おいおい。
本当に仲がいいこと。
1 year has passed. Dariel and Marika live happily and already have one son. Lux Village is still as bustling as ever and much busier than it was in Anvil's youth. Then Dariel visited Smith's grave because he had done a lot of service as a blacksmith in Lux Village. Dariel is also grateful because Smith gave him the most valuable sword. Smith has also taught many things to his disciple, and now the blacksmith shop is managed by him. After that, Dariel returned home to continue his work as village chief. Of course, Dariel is greeted by Marika and their child named Grand. Dariel deliberately uses the name Grand because Dariel has been raised by Grand Barza, Bashubaza's father. Before long, Gashida reports to Dariel and Anvil that a hero is coming to the village. Of course, Dariel was very worried about this. For the human nation, the hero is chosen to kill the Demon King. It is their main mission for world peace. But from the Demon Nation's side, the hero is the villain who must be exterminated. He is a merciless killer. Dariel had seen the hero fight against the Demon King's soldiers back then. He is an old man with a mustache who brutally kills everyone. If the old man knew Dariel was in this village, he would most likely kill Dariel. Then Anvil and the others will prepare a banquet for the hero's arrival. Meanwhile, Dariel and Gashida will welcome them at the village gate. After waiting for some time, the hero finally arrived at Lux Village, and Dariel immediately readied his sword. But Dariel was surprised because the hero turned out like this.
あれ？ヒゲがない。
Dariel didn't expect the hero he saw to be different from the old one. This hero is named Rady, and the two adventurers are Sadome and Seisha. Rady apologizes to Dariel for visiting Lux Village all of a sudden. Then Dariel didn't mind about it. Dariel is amazed by Rady because she became a hero at a young age. Rady says that the previous hero was seriously injured while on a mission to kill the Demon King. Because of that, he retired and was replaced by Rady. After hearing that, Dariel felt relieved that Rady could not recognize his face.
戦いは男性だけの特権ではない。
今度の勇者も怖い。
貴殿は年齢や性別で人を判断する御人か。
Then they chatted while walking towards the Adventurers Guild. Sadome was amazed that a small village like this could be the key to defeating the Demon King. Of course, Dariel was confused by Sadome's words. Rady explains that they came to Lux Village to order mithril weapons. Rady also warns Sadome to behave even more politely. They are in a very precious village, and must always respect this village. When Dariel looked at Rady's hand, it turned out that Rady was just copying wise words. In fact, Rady doesn't have the wisdom or leadership qualities of a typical hero.
勇者がカンニングしてる。変な子。里目と逆のことを言う。舐められたら終わり。常に威厳ある言葉遣い。しょっぱなマウント取る。
After arriving at the Adventurers Guild, Rady's party was greeted warmly by Marika. Marika told Dariel to hold Grand, who had been crying since earlier. She wanted to take Rady and company's things to the inn room that had been prepared beforehand. But suddenly, Grand didn't cry anymore when he saw Rady. Of course, Dariel thought Grand was curious about Rady, who was coming here for the first time. Then Rady suddenly showed a bit of her tsundere nature because she wanted to help Dariel carry Grand.
よかったらうちの子抱いてもらう。
早く貸せ。
そんなに？
Grand was very calm when Rady carried him, and Dariel didn't expect Grand to be carried by a hero like this. Even Dariel also just found out that Rady really likes babies. But suddenly, Dariel is shocked that Grand did this to Rady.
大丈夫かこの子。将来が楽しみ。うちの子が。
いいけど赤ちゃんのすることだし。
こらグラン。
On the other hand, Grand Barza orders Bashubaza to come to his residence. Grand Barza had long since retired from the wound he received last time. He also wanted to know the Heavenly King's progress from Bashubaza. What about Dariel's advice and work there? Dariel was the one who could always come up with any solution. Even Dariel can also give peace to the people of the Demon Nation. Then Bashubaza was very nervous about answering his father's question. He explained that Heavenly Kings were growing well. Bashubaza also often listens to Dariel's words and suggestions. Dariel is doing well as a soldier of the Demon King army, so Grand Barza didn't have to worry about Dariel. Then Grand Barza asked Bashubaza, "Do you remember the message I told you before?" Bashubaza replies that he still remembers his father's words. Grand Barza is very lucky to have Dariel because any job can be solved with minimal problems. Because of that, Grand Barza handed Dariel over to Bashubaza as Grand Barza's successor. After hearing those words from Bashubaza, Grand Barza was furious with Bashubaza. Grand Barza already knew the actual situation in the Demon King's castle. He regretted giving up his title to stupid Bashubaza. Grand Barza scolds Bashubaza for firing Dariel for such an absurd reason. Grand Barza wants Bashubaza to look for Dariel everywhere. Bashubaza had to apologize to him and bring Dariel back to the Demon King's army. That way, the Demon King will allow Bashubaza to return to work as a Heavenly King. Then Bashubaza disobeys his father's orders because he doesn't need trash like Dariel. Bashubaza will prove that he can be stronger and turn back the situation of the Demon Nation. After Bashubaza left there, Grand Barza missed Dariel very much.
今頃どこで何をしているダリエル。